Good evening, everyone. Calling our school board meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance being led by Zoe and Eva Fuqua. You may please come down to the front for us, please.
Who wants the mic?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies,
Don't go away yet, though.
Mrs. Pringle. You will have the opportunity now to speak about the young ladies. I can pull it up.
I mean, I can speak without the bios, but I would hate to miss out on all the wonderful things Zoe and Eva brings to Franklin. But I have the pleasure of having 2 out of the 6 Fuquas that are in the district. So I'm excited to introduce first Zoe. Zoe is an 8th grader here at Franklin Middle School. She is a multi-athlete student. She is an honor roll student. She's a part of NJHS. What else? The list can go on and on. Let's see. There we go. Zoe is an 8th grade student at Franklin Middle School. She's a multi-sport athlete participating in volleyball, basketball, track, pep club, and cross country. Zoe also serves on student council and is a proud member of the National Junior Honor Society. She is an honor roll student who consistently earns all A's. Congrats. Next, we have Eva. Eva is a 6th grader, her first year here at Franklin. She also plays volleyball and plans to try out for basketball this season. Eva is an active member of the Pep Club and is an honor roll student. She is recognized as a student leader, previously serving as an assistant teacher in Champions and as a member of the school safety squad.
Thank you so much. Don't go sit down, stay over here. To both Zoe and Eva, thank you so much for being here this evening. This is a special recognition for you, Zoe, and this one is for you, Eva. So thank you guys so much for being here. You did an awesome job, and I hope you have a wonderful break and a wonderful rest of your school year. And then they're gonna take a picture, so still don't go anywhere.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Next, we will have Mrs. Sprinkle to provide a building
How
up.
about roll call? Can we do roll call first?
I just want to do what I want to do tonight. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know. I got my own agenda. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll for this evening?
Yes. Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Roshan,
Here.
Mr. Ambrose,
Present.
Ms. Abby Mitchell,
Present.
Mr. Cox,
Present.
Ms. Hines, present, and President Bay.
Present.
We have everyone here today.
Awesome. Next on the agenda, make sure I'm in the right order. Mrs. Springle will be providing a building update on Franklin Middle School. Again, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for the invite. Tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about Franklin Middle School, the greatest middle school, not only in the district, but across the state of Michigan, in my opinion. So just to start off with some quick demographics. Our enrollment right now is about 607 students. It does fluctuate anywhere between 650 to 600 and back up. So I'm assuming that we'll probably get a lot of new enrollees when we come back from break. But somewhere in between the 600 and 650. Sixth grade is our largest group this year. 210 sixth graders in our building. And then seventh and eighth grade, 199 and 198 eighth graders. Out of all of our students, we have about a 22% population for special education. So we house several special education, specialized programs, including SXI, our CI, and then resource. English learners, we have a small population of about 22 students that equal about 3.6% of our students. Our school is pretty close even as far as gender distribution. Females a little slightly higher at 326 of our students and 281 males. We are very diverse at Franklin. 48% of our population is African American, 36.7% Caucasian, 7% Hispanic. Multi-ethnic is at about 5.4%, and then other 2.4%. So a nice mix at Franklin. So one of our focus this year is attendance. We know that that is a district goal, but it's also one of our school goals. Our average daily attendance is at 87%. We are working to improve that daily participation, but most importantly, we're looking at working and being proactive with our students that are chronically absent. So we have found that we have several students who are not attending school. So our goal is to figure out what barriers they're facing as to why they're not coming to school. So not just focusing on the average daily rate, because that can change, but on who are the specific students in our school that are not attending in person and why. So this year we have partnered with Wayne Risa to create an attendance monitor position. And this position is focusing on early intervention, engaging with our families and trying to help remove those barriers that are impacting our student attendance. Student well-being and support systems. So at Franklin, we really believe in the whole child and making sure not only academics, but our students' social emotional needs are being met. We have piloted for the past 2 years a homeroom in which we have a 20-minute SEL block, so social emotional learning. We've partnered with Trails for some SEL lessons where across our different classrooms, students are learning how to be self-aware, social awareness, relationship building, all of those things that will help set them up and prepare them to be ready to learn. So we did a vote for a contract deviation for 2 years now, and it passed with 99% of our teachers on board with continuing with having a homeroom. So that's something exciting and unique for Franklin. I would say that some of our strong climate and culture supports, we have our PBIS framework in place, our Hornet store, which is online shopping, where we have partnered with some of our adult learning programs where they come in and they manage our fulfillment distribution. So when students shop online, the students in the adult special ed program, they come every week to fulfill those orders and deliver. So there's another way for them to get life skills and to partner with our younger students. And then I would have to brag and say that we probably have the best behavior support team in the district. Who provide not only just reactive but proactive supports for our students that are in need. This year we have several different ways we are helping students with mental health services. We have 2 full-time counselors. One is here tonight, Ms. Fuqua. And we have 1.5 social workers and a psych that we share across buildings. Approximately 20% of our students receive ongoing mental health services. We are so excited this year about some of the community partnerships we've built with Ms. Fuqua and our other counselors' support. They were able to bring in New Hope grief counseling. Several of our students have lost loved ones, from parents to siblings, and so we've partnered with New Hope where they come in it's weekly, right? Where they work with students in small groups where they're getting grief counseling, because we found that a lot of our students were not receiving any type of support when their parents or loved ones pass away. We also added this year a partnership with the Guidance Center. We looked at what are some of the behavior supports that are needed, that students need tier 2 supports, more supports. And so we have built 4 different social groups where we have the Guidance Center who's coming in every Wednesday to run small groups. Some of them are friendship groups. We found that some kids just don't know how to make friends. And so they'll be in a small group where they're learning, even if it's a game of Uno, learning how to interact with their peers, helping them be partnership. And in hope of some of these efforts with finding some of our kids who are not coming to school because they don't have those type of relationships or something to look forward to. So this is new this year, but we have 4 different groups, conflict resolution, so those students who are always in conflict with someone. So we have a special group for those students who are learning how to resolve conflicts nonviolently. So those students who maybe acted out physically in the past, we now have them as an alternative participate with the Guidance Center on conflict resolution. And we're continuing our partnership with Wayne Youth Services this year. We are excited. They came to us and let us know they had some extra money and grants and said, hey, what does your school need? So I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead for that because it kind of ties into this. So when we looked at what we needed, we found that a lot of our students are student athletes, but we have a lot of students who are not athletes, but they want to do something else at the school. And so we use that opportunity and the money that Wayne Youth Services is providing for us to build after-school clubs, and the kids are excited. Every one of these clubs are on waiting lists now because they're excited. Cooking club, so kids are staying after school learning how to make meals. Art club, we have a fitness club, dancercise, tutoring, an anime club, even board games. That it's a club. Kids stay after and just learn how to play board games. Chess and checkers. And then one of the exciting ones I'm excited about is a music production club. We're actually building a studio at the school, and one of our teachers are teaching the students how to produce music. So they're excited about that. Yeah, and then Wayne Youth donated all of the equipment we need for the studio. So it's gonna be nice. Excited about that. So in addition to that, we do have our athletics. Something that we're excited about is our 6th grade opportunities. We knew that they had opportunities in 4th and 5th grade, and then they would get to middle school, and we didn't have something for them because it was predominantly 7th and 8th grade. So this year, 6th grade is up and running. They now have their own mini league within the district where they're now playing for volleyball and basketball. So the students and families are excited about that. Leadership opportunities for our students, which I have 3 of our leaders here tonight. Student Council in JHS, Student PBIS team, and our Lighthouse Club. Something we chose as a school to continue was the Legacy Award. So every year we recognize 3 to 5 students who are leaving a legacy at Franklin, and they're acknowledged at our 8th grade honors night. 2 special things as far as academic achievements are Science department head, Ms. Christie, won a grant with Samsung Solve for Tomorrow. She was a state winner for our STEM club and our STEM labs that we host at Franklin. And then also what's exciting, our instructional coach, Ms. Kelly Villa, she heads up networking with our teachers where they are visiting classrooms across secondary where they're learning from their peers. And so every month we've had an overwhelming amount of teachers from different schools and from our schools that are willing to open their classrooms up and see what is happening instructionally across grade levels. So that is a highlight for our team. We've actually were the trailblazers. I'm gonna take credit, even though it was all Ms. Villa's work. Observing secondary buildings to build their capacity. So that is something very exciting that's growing. When teachers come back, they're excited about the things they saw in other schools. And even I think last week they visited John Glenn, so they're even visiting high schools to see what's happening for that vertical alignment. A few other points of pride. We're providing targeted interventions, again, with our behavior team for behavior and tardies. We're constantly recognizing students who have perfect attendance. So each month they have an opportunity to earn that award. We are doing trails, which also focuses on a monthly character trait through SEL and PBIS. We continue with our monthly MTSS meetings to discuss the academic challenges students are having. And in addition, we've staffed and got creative on how to have an in-school reset room to keep kids in school. So if they absolutely don't have to be suspended, they can be in school and still learning. So that brings me to the end, unless,
There was a slide that, can you just touch
did I
on that one?
skip a slide?
I think it was right there.
Oh, this one. Oh, yes, absolutely. So our student academic and achievement growth. So our school set a goal of having at least 50% of our students meet their individual NWEA goal. So looking at this chart, the green says that at least 54% of our sixth graders are growing as much as their peers across the nation or better. And so we're excited about that because we know that not all of our students are on grade level, but we are showing that wherever they're at, they're growing. And they're growing at the rate that is predicted for them to grow based on where they're at. Seventh grade, we're at 44%, and then eighth grade, 50%. So again, we had a building goal of trying to get at least 50% of our students exceeding their NWEA goals. So we're almost there, just got to work on seventh grade. But also, even though we see a little red, don't be nervous about that, because it doesn't mean that the students aren't growing. They still have till the spring to reach their individual targets. So we're on track. We're going to get there. Questions?
Are there any questions?
Yes, Ms. Hines.
Mrs. Hines?
I'd just like to make a comment. Thank you for all the work that you're doing over there. It's really exciting. I just like to see these kids being excited about growth, opportunity. I just thought about something. There's a lady, her name is Tanya Ayers. She's called the Shoe Lady. And they make a lot of movies in Detroit. And they have a studio called The Collective, and it just started up. So maybe I can get you guys together. Maybe you guys do a field trip, do like a coordination. Because it'd be really cool, because the movie industry in Detroit is like booming. And I think that'd be a really good connection. Let's see if we can get you guys put together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you send me the information, we'll definitely connect with them.
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cox.
I just wanted to say thank you. This was a very student-centered report, and specifically the after-school clubs.
Yes.
We've always believed that's the best place for kids after school is back at school with their classmates and with some mentorship, and great effort. Congratulations on that.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to see more of that. Thank you.
Mrs. Abney Mitchell, and then Mr. Roshon.
I also wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate the after-school clubs. You know, like you said, everybody's not an athlete. Everybody doesn't want to participate in that, and for you to have those extra resources, I appreciate that. And also the attendance monitor.
Yes.
So when they engaging with parents, with the families and everything about the students not attending schools, I mean, is there any way that they can try to, you know, better influence the parents or offer them something, or, you know, because in middle school, some of it is the kids, but you know, you look at it, it's also the parents that's keeping, you know, 87% attendance is not good at all.
That's right. And so that's why we partner with Rain Risa. And something that I did as well, and we're still in the process, we created our own individual surveys for specific families with the students that are chronically absent, because we wanted to find out from the students' perspective, why are they not coming to school? Because they might even have a different answer than their parents. And so then from the parents' perspective, why do you think they're not coming to school? And then actually just today we did some of the teacher interviews where we wanted to get their perspective on why do you think your students aren't coming? And so our goal is to look at all of the what we call street data and try to figure out what exactly is going on with those specific students as to why they're not coming to school. So, I mean, we can all say, oh, transportation, or they're sick, or different things, but we're finding some have unique situations, and some, it is that relationship piece. They just need to be connected in some kind of way to someone. And so that's where the after-school clubs is also a benefit too, that is going to be a support to some of our students. They just need something to look forward to. And we're finding that some of them just need to feel successful at some part of the day.
Right.
So work avoidance is a way that they know when I come to school, I'm not going to be able to do this work, so why go? But us helping them try to figure out like how and show them how they can be successful and celebrating them. So our goal with the attendance monitor is to help put together individualized attendance plans, which will include incentives for the student. They respond well, something as simple as food. They respond to. So but making it more individualized, because every student has a different story as to why they're not coming to school. So absolutely, next time you see us, that attendance rate should be up.
Okay, and the last thing I just want to say, I appreciate and thank you. You doing a good job with utilizing community partnerships, and it looked like you going after everything that's available.
Absolutely.
And that's a good thing, you know, utilizing the resources. And thank you guys for all you do.
I forgot to mention HYPE. They are definitely a huge support for us. I do
It's
not
on
want to
here.
forget that.
Thank you. Mr. Roshan?
As Mr. Cox said, this is a wonderful presentation, a student-centered report. But recently this year I visited Franklin, and it is a student-centered school. You know, going in there, you see the kids are excited. I walked with Ms. Pringle, and they ran up to her, Ms. Pringle, look at this. And I forgot the young man name that was the car enthusiast. Young man was just like, what kind of car do you have?
Oh,
But
Josh.
man,
Josh.
amazing students. She took me around the building. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that this building had so many different pods and areas, and immaculate clean, and students were happy and staff were so pleasant. And I just appreciate you and your report. I'm telling you, we have a gym in Ms. Pringle in this district. She told me how long she's been in the district, and you know, the ups and downs, and just giving me history of the district. And I just appreciate you for sticking with our students and supporting our students and being just a gym in this district.
Thank you.
Anyone else before I make, okay, Mrs. Hines?
Yes, I just have one more thing when it comes to attendance. I know Wayne West End has like a super high homeless rate, and I know sometimes that can be an issue. How is that with the students over at Franklin? Is that like an issue with the homeless and the transients? Because I know a lot of kids that come through, and then too, a lot of times with the ICE, how do we know kids aren't coming to school because they're afraid to come? Because we have a huge English language learner in this district. I think the last time I talked to one of the principals, they said they had over 500 English language learners. So if you have this ICE situation and parents are scared to bring their kids to school, that could be an issue as well. So did that come up in any of the conversations?
So I know that Adams has the higher population for our English language learners. We have a smaller population. A little bit of that came up, probably, but not as big as if you talk to the families at Adams, because they house majority of our students. But we do have a population of homelessness, and we also have a couple of group homes that are within our demographics as well, which plays a part in the transient, because they're in and out of those homes when they get permanent placements versus when they come in and different things. So we do see a little bit more of the homelessness or transient population more than our ELL barriers at Franklin.
Thank you.
20% of your student population are dealing with mental health issues. That's when a lot of both my daughters went through Franklin also, and that's when they started having theirs. The support back then wasn't as good as it is now, but do you have the resources that you need to meet their needs, or is it something as a board maybe we need to look at working into allocating a little bit more resources to help?
Absolutely. I'm glad that you asked that. So that is the reason why we've been going strong with the community partnerships, because we jokingly say that sometimes Franklin can be a mental health institution where we feel like we are dealing with a lot of that on a daily basis. So that is the reason why I have to give credit to our mental health team, because they are going out getting, at one point they got together and said, Ms. Pringle, don't ask us to do nothing else. Like, we have enough to try to get going this year. And I'm like, but we need more. And so they went out, they got the grief center, they went out and got the guidance center. And then we just found, I went and when we were looking at our title budget, we're grateful to have a bigger portion of the title funds due to the population we serve. And so we were talking about how can we add more social work services or things. And so I have to give credit to Amanda. I don't know if I'm supposed to release that information. Can I release that yet? And so I kind of talked to her like, hey, I need more like clinicians, because a lot of our parents won't take our students to outside therapy or outside services. Like, what if we set up something where they can get services right on site in, you know, in a private area? And so Amanda heard me out, and she called me last week with news that you all approved some clinicians through, I can't remember what agency, that's gonna now start working with Franklin and our students. So that's yet another mental health support for our students. So we're excited about that.
All right, so I'm gonna bring it home. Again, just saying thank you. One of the things that I really appreciate about your presentation and hearing all the things that you all are doing is that there is a huge focus on a sense of belonging, and understanding that if kids don't feel like they belong in a space, then they don't want to be in that space. And so thank you so much for lifting that and creating a space where kids want to come, and that's your focus. When you talk about the chronic absenteeism, I really appreciate that you're not looking at it as this big picture, but you're really drilling down to who are the kids that we need to be here consistently, and what do they need in order to be here. The after-school clubs, this is something that Mr. Cox and I have talked about, where I'm like, I think our schools should be open like all the time, right? Because of the needs of our kids. Understanding that, I'm not saying the staff has to be there all the time, but that we partner to create those spaces for kids to be there. The friendship clubs. The friendship club, like, I love hearing about that, because that is an issue when you talk about a sense of belonging. Sometimes kids don't know how to make friends. They don't know how to sustain friendships. And so having that opportunity to really experience that and have someone to teach them how to do those things, because I think that's something that we've kind of moved away from in preschool and kindergarten, where that used to be the focus, right? Is how do you make friends? How do you keep friends? How do you play well with others? So being able to do that in this space, I think, is huge. And then the last thing that I'm going to share is that I do follow you all on TikTok, and I do enjoy the TikToks. So just wanted to lift that, because again, that is creating that sense of belonging and reaching kids where they are. They love TikTok. So to see you all on there is huge. So thank you for that. And again, just thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
I had one more thing.
That
One more thing I
TikTok,
wanted to share about your student achievement. One of the things that you said, because we as a board have talked so much about student achievement and where we're headed. And so what I do appreciate you sharing is not only about the 50% growth, but the fact that all the kids are growing. So we may not see them at that 50th percentile, but that the kids are growing, and that is a focus. It's not just a matter of reach your target, but where's your growth in getting to your target, right? So thank you for just sharing some of that information with us as well. And then that's it for me.
Yeah, so I do have to credit Sherry for that, because we've talked about that in our principal meetings of what ways can we celebrate students academically ongoing, and not just those who are always the ones celebrated for proficiency or at grade level, but just what ways can we bring excitement? And again, going back to how do we help our students feel successful so they'll keep striving. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, keep up the excellent work. Thank you so much. All right. We are now at 191 point, I'm pausing, making sure I'm not missing nothing. 26, adjournment to a closed session. I am looking for a motion that we resolve that the Board of Education will adjourn to a closed session according to pursuant to 8A, to consider a periodic personnel evaluation of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent according to the Open Meetings Act. Looking for a motion?
I make a motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Hines.
Support.
Mrs. Abney Mitchell. Support is Mr. Ambrose. And Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Roshan,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Awesome, thank you. Where are we to?
HR conference.
We're at item 192.26, looking for a motion to adjourn to an open meeting.
So moved.
Support.
Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver.
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Roshan.
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
7-0 motion carries.
Thank you so much. I would just like to share that as we are coming out of closed session, as I shared before we went in, we were going in regards to an evaluation. This would have been the mid-year progress report for Dr. Koss. She started with 2 goals this year. The first one was to develop common assessments in K-5, math, ELA, 6 through 12 in the core subjects, and to develop a marketing campaign for the programs we offer. And so we took some time to just get an update on where we were with those goals. And Dr. Koss has now added a 3rd goal, which is to create a campaign to increase enrollment for 26-27. So those will be the goals in which Dr. Koss will be evaluated on in May. So thank you. And I will now move us to item 193.26, citizens' comments on agenda items. Do we have anything, Mrs. Hines?
I have a citizen's comments, but it's on non-agenda.
All right, thank you. Next, we are at item 194.26, consent agenda. At this point, I am looking for a motion.
Move approval.
Support?
Support.
Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Mr. Roshan,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Item 195.26, Board of Education Committee reports. We will start with Mr. Roshan and the Student Achievement Committee report.
Thank you, President May. We had our Student Achievement Committee November the 19th on Wednesday. Number one point I want to bring out is we talked about our parent advisory group update. We received updates from Ms. Markey on behalf of Ms. Johnson. The parent advisory group has already held 2 successful meetings. Additional parents will be joining in December and January. I requested that the parent advisory group be more formally invited to attend and participate in future Student Achievement Committee meetings as their input is essential to our work. Number 2, point 2 that we brought up during the meeting was a Student Achievement Board representative discussion. Dr. Koss presented 4 scenarios outlining potential models for incorporating student voice into district governance, including both board seat and committee seat structures. As a committee, we emphasize ensuring the process, making sure the process is inclusive, meeting with all student applicants using the Student Achievement Committee as a space for open dialogue. Also establishing clear criteria. There was general agreement that committee engagement may provide richer and more meaningful student dialogue while encouraging student attendance at board meetings. Number 3, we talked about district data review. Dr. Koss showed and shared the annual data provided by Wayne Risa. This includes district performance relative to county and state averages. While some members noted this information was not new, it was new to me and highlighted how far our district is currently trailing. Dr. Jefferson outlined her team's current focus areas, acknowledging the data honestly and without excuses, working across short and long-term goals, and also staying disciplined around our 3 district goals. Committee members appreciated the clarity, and I requested that the student data become a standing agenda item for all future student achievement meetings. A citizen comment, community member Dorothy expressed a strong support for developing a pipeline of students to participate in the Student Achievement Committee and potentially serve in advisory roles. She encouraged ongoing celebration of student successes, and regular reporting on the district's progress. We adjourned at 6:03 p.m.
Thank you. And then you also have under the Student Advisory Committee to have a first discussion.
Yes, the first discussion, I didn't get that printed out, for our having a student to represent on the board. We were saying not just to, maybe not just have the student on the board, but have a student committee to start. And from when we have that student committee, like we're having our parent advisory committee, from there, that student committee can figure out if we want to bring someone to a student representative on the board. So I just wanted to start that discussion.
So do you guys remember we had talked about a student rep initially, and then that's where Dr. Cross came back to student achievement with the 4 options, and then narrowing it down in student achievement to 2 options, but really looking at a student advisory committee that students would, did you say all this, have the opportunity to apply for that?
Yes.
And then the board, we would pretty much select the students that would be a part of that committee. And then they would have the opportunity to just kind of engage in the topics that come before the board, as well as attend committee meetings as they were interested in attending.
Yeah, similar how we've started the parent advisory committee. We kind of put it out there to all parents to join. And we would do the same for our students, whether it be our high school students or, and then whoever joins from there, they'll come up with a process if they want to be a part of the board, our board meetings, or how that will go. So just wanted to open that up for our first discussion, what that'll look like.
So the floor is open. Any thoughts, questions, feedback?
I think it'd be a great idea. We were talking about that some years ago, and it gets the students involved. The nice thing is that we have like the career tech, we have Glenn, Wayne Memorial, so then like we have the 4, so maybe we can even pick one from each of the schools to be like a representative of each school.
And Mr. Cox, you were there. Is there anything that you want to add? Because you were at the Student Achievement Committee when we talked about this.
I think any time that we can create an environment where we can communicate with the students, it's going to be positive. It's going to tell us things there's no other way to know, and it's going to let them know that we care enough to ask their opinion, because after all, they're just little people, and they have their opinion. Probably they have a better handle on some of the things going on in the school than we do, because we're so separated from it. So I think it's positive. But I do not think that putting them on the board in a decision-making capacity is at all appropriate. They simply don't have the experience to make these decisions, but I'm interested in what they have to say. So I think
Madam
that's positive.
President,
Yes.
I just want to throw this out there. Putting together a student advisory committee would probably be a great thing. I just want to throw this out, that Wayne Memorial, we have the Senate, we have the student councils in every school. Maybe we could have all of those committees, while they're in session, talk about what they would like to send over, instead of having to create something special that somebody's got to govern, and maybe they're not speaking for everyone. So it's an idea.
Thank you.
Miss, one more comment, if I may. Having them respond and comment and come here is one thing, but having us go there sends a completely different message. And we should think about that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I do want to clarify that the conversation around if and this is just a clarifying point, not to say I'm pushing it, but if we were to have a student be a part of the board, that student would not be a part of like the decision making. It would be But I think we had actually moved away from that anyhow. But it was never about them being a part of the decision making. And I don't think that's been the case with other districts that have students as a part of the board. They don't vote in that piece. Yes.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. We do have student council, in our schools. Wayne Memorial, I believe we have like 28, and don't quote me, 28 students that's going to a leadership conference in February. And John Glenn, we have students that's going to the same leadership conference in February also. So if we take their input, but like Mr. Cox just said, because my suggestion was that we visit one of their meetings. You know, the people on the Student Achievement Committee maybe go to one of their meetings, but we just said that we'll probably be sending a different message. But if we introduce ourselves and our reason for being there, you know, but let's start with that and see what's going on there, see how they feel about it. And as far as having somebody, even though we moved away from it, if we get back to it, having a student on the board, you know, it's just about educating ourselves from other districts that have that and see how that's going on and their purpose of being there. You know, like President just said, that they won't be making a vote. But you know, it's all about student voice, letting our students get involved and letting them know that this is a school, we here because of you.
Thank you. You want to say something?
I'll just add that I agree, and I've recently visited a student council meeting, talking to some of the high school students, and while they enjoy the student council in their school, they're appreciative to be able to branch out from just their school and partner with other schools, coming together as a collective. Similar to our, you know, we may have PTO and PTA parent committees in different schools, but now we have our parent advisory committee district-wide. Everyone's able to come together and have a shared focus district-wide.
Right.
So just having, allowing the students to have a shared focus district-wide, coming outside of just their own school, but partnering with other schools, and somewhere that we can go there to have discussions with them from that platform. So, yeah.
And I also like the idea of bringing the schools together, because there seems to, you know, we always hear the conversation about the divide, where like Wayne Memorial doesn't get treated the same way as John Glenn. But if they're all together and we're hearing from all of them collectively, I think that helps to start to eliminate the divide, but also to give the kids the opportunities to hear what's happening at WIA, what's happening at Glenn, what's happening at Wayne Memorial, and maybe they get some ideas, and maybe that, you know, helps to start that alignment where they do look the same and not completely different. So just some things to think about. So this is a first discussion. It will be on the agenda again in January for us to make a decision as to if we would like to move forward with the student group, student advisory group. All right. All right. So next on the agenda is Finance and Facility Committee report. Mr. Ambrose.
So, on Wednesday, December 4th, the Finance and Faculty Committee meeting was called to order. We had the following attendance: myself, Miss Hines, Miss Abney Mitchell, Miss Claire, Miss Polachevich, Mr. Beebe, Dorothy, who is a community member, and Miss Ostrander, who is filling in for Miss Markey. The first item of business, which is being brought before the board tonight for approval, is Ms. Polachevich was talked about buying some books for our high school ELA program. It is a number of different titles, ranging from Shakespeare to some more modern works, such as Japanese mangas. These are going to be used during our ELA classes. And the cost for these is is $81,000, and it would be charged to our general fund. She will be purchasing these through Amazon. The second item of business that was brought before us, a little bit of a background story behind this. It's regarding some Verizon COVID expenditures. Mr. Beebe was going to be coming before us tonight to request that we pay a bill of $81,000 and $705 that would have been charged to our sinking fund. There was a lot of back and forth between the district and Verizon as to whether we owed this money. It was determined before the meeting that we did owe this money. However, the next day, we got an email from Ms. Markey stating that the business office filed an appeal a few months ago, and the appeal was approved, and now it's just for our information only that the approximate cost will be $3,000 coming from the sinking fund. The next thing Mr. Beebe brought before us was some ClassLink licensing. He's asking the board to approve the purchase of this licensing, which will provide the district the ability to auto-sync, auto-account create, and delete things like emails within our school district. The total cost of this purchase will not exceed $41,500 and will be charged to the general fund. Right now, when we create accounts, we have to create accounts every year, even for current students, and this will allow them to save time and only create the new accounts that are needed. The next thing we talked about was presented to us from Ms. Claire on behalf of Mr. Montaigne. It is an adaptive playground at Roosevelt Elementary. This was a public bid went out for this, and the money will be coming from our Act 18 funds. I forgot who was going to do the work, but it was Mr. Montaigne can probably get into that more detail a little bit later tonight when it comes up. But it's coming from our Act 18 funds and will be $890,000. We are going to have a change to our liability insurance. Ms. Claire brought that to our attention. We did approve that we would investigate, and if SDG came in cheaper but provided the same liability coverages that we had, that we would be going with them. So we did that, I want to say last April, if memory serves right.
Yeah, it was towards the end of the year.
Yeah. So that is just for our information only. We also had a discussion about two audit firms, a Yo and Matter Consortium. Knowing that we just went through our last financial audit with Plant Moran, there have been some concerns that were mentioned, not with the audit itself, but with the level of service that we received from Plant Moran. And it's also been a touching point within the community lately. The last two audits, we've had community members ask us, have we decided to look at outside firms? So Ms. Claire did go out and come up with two bids from Yo and Manor. I had Ms. Markey email the board members these presentations. This was only a discussion for the Finance Committee meeting. This will be brought before the board next month for consideration, but to allow you, the materials were sent out to you for a chance to review and to reach out to the boards that are using the references that they provided us. We then talked about our resolution to sell the 2026 school building and site bonds. We need to have a resolution so we can start the first go around of bonds. They are going to be issued in 3 sets. The first issuance is going to be about $20 million, so we can get things going. With the total amount for the bonds over the 3 issuances to be $125 million. And then we reviewed about our state aid report. She went over some of the confusing aspects. There are a few funds that are no longer being supported by the state because they had been rolled in to our foundational allowance. And with that, we reviewed the check registered and our investment report. We had community comments from Miss Dorothy talking about marketing efforts within the district. That we tend to struggle to talk about the good news in this district and get the word out to our people. And she suggested that we use social media and the school marquees a little bit more aggressively than what we are to get our word out. That led to a lively discussion, which extended the meeting normally than what we would have ended it. We had no superintendent comments because Dr. Cost was unavailable. And we heard from Ms. Hines, Ms. Abney Mitchell, and myself, and adjourned at 7:01.
Thank you. Our next report is from Dr. Weaver, Policy and Procedure Committee Report.
Thank you, Madam President. The Policy Committee met on December 11th at 9 a.m. The attendees were Dr. Cost, Jenny Johnson, Kim Markey, and Fred Weaver. Absent were Melanie Hines and Shannon Rochon. The Policy Committee did the very last review of the overarching electronics policy for our district. As has been said many times, our individual schools have already enacted their particular policies. So this is an overarching policy for our district. Very simply, we've had 2 community reviews and thought processes on the process of the overall consensus that comes to us is that the students may not use their electronics during class time. No cell phones, no watches, etc. Only during passing time and lunchtime. And that, with that, the committee dismissed at 9:24 a.m.
Thank you, Dr. Weaver. Next, we are at item 196.27, review and approval of business, service, and finance. We will start with Dr. Jefferson.
Okay, thank you very much. As presented at the December Finance Committee meeting, we are requesting approval to purchase the high school ELA resources per the recommendation of Kim Paulukevich, our Executive Director of High School Curriculum and Instruction and State and Federal Grants. This purchase will include hardcovers when they're possible for durability, and that each unit will include a set of 3 to 4 novels aligned to the required skills. The high school ELA teachers have done extensive work in literature circles and have chosen books that are representative both of our student population. They're well rated, of various Lexile scores, and support learning in the classroom. I recommend that the Board of Education approve the high school ELA resources purchase at a cost not to exceed $81,120.16, which includes shipping. This quote is based on the Amazon Business Consortium. These costs would be covered by the general fund. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you. I am looking for a motion.
Motion,
Support.
Discussion?
discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much for doing that research. Reading is super important, and ELA. I was telling we had one of the meetings about a book when I was in high school that changed my whole life. Like, reread the book, the Anne Frank story, and it just really just like the imagination, like just imagine like being in the attic and you can't get out. That was just like important. That was just like in high school. So just being exposed to different things I never would have been exposed to was just phenomenal. So thank you so much for your research and, helping the kids with the opportunities to learn different things and, expand their horizons. I think this is really important, and it's worth paying for this because reading is very important.
Thank you. Kim P. deserves all the credit, and the high school English department.
Yes. Thank
Mrs.
you,
Abney
guys.
Mitchell.
Okay, so you said that it'll be 3 or 4 books of the same for different choices? Okay, so like I asked the finance meeting, so we didn't get no student choice about the books, correct?
Well, in these particular books,
Yeah.
that is not part of our process.
That's not part of your process?
But the students do have student choice within classroom libraries and media centers, and they do have student choice in reading. Some are aligned to particular standards, and so those ones would be indicated for them, but we do have student choice in other ways of the curriculum in ELA.
And the ones that don't have hard copies, they'll be paperback?
If we have to.
And what's the procedure for, they'll be checking it out in the library, what's the procedure for the student to get the book?
I don't have the answer to that question. That would be a Kim P. or a high school question, but I can certainly find out the answer.
Okay, I thought I asked that question, but it ain't, I don't have the answer on my sheet, so that's why. I guess that's all I had.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? No? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Miss Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose.
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Dr. Weaver.
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Next, we have Dr. O'Feely with the recommendation to approve ClassLink licensing.
Thank you, President May. As Daryl Beebe, Executive Director of Technology and Innovation, presented at the December 4th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting, the district is seeking approval to purchase the ClassLink licensing, a vital component of our district's AutoSync account creation and deletion systems. Approval of the ClassLink system is an essential investment in maintaining an environment where education and technology work together to optimize accuracy and efficiency. I recommend that the Board of Education approve the purchase of the ClassLink license that covers 1 year and will not exceed $41,465. This expense will be charged to the general fund. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Support.
Discussion?
What do we use now?
Good evening to the board. Thank you for that question. Currently, we do not have a system that is helping us. We're doing this work manually through our help desk system as well as other employees. So bringing this system forward would really help in terms of the amount of manpower and time that we utilize in account creation. It will also help in regards to account security. I don't know if you've all seen, we've dealt with a lot of the phishing emails where we're trying to get hacked. So this will also create a level of security and safety that will prevent a lot of that from happening around passwords that are easily obtained through student relationships and whatnot.
Okay.
Mr. Beebe, how are we going to measure if this is effective in terms of if we would want to renew it for the following year?
So basically, when we look at the amount of time that it takes to create the accounts and what we've done, we can basically look at, once again, the amount of manpower, hours and whatnot that it takes to create the accounts and whatnot. But a program of this nature, in regards to the security of it, you really don't know in terms of its ability to withhold, or I should say to withstand, cyber attacks and things of that nature. So, but the main place in terms of actually seeing the results of it will be specifically in time. But once again, the security side of it, to me, is even more important than the time.
Okay, so will we potentially see like less phishing emails?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Dr. Weaver,
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose,
Yes.
Mr. Rashawn,
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes, President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Next, we have a recommendation to approve Roosevelt Adaptive Playground. Mr. Toko?
Yes. Good evening, board and community. As presented at the December Finance and Facility meeting, on behalf of Gino Montaigne, I am requesting approval to award contracts to complete the updates to the Roosevelt McGrath Adaptive Playground. Wayne Westland held a public bid opening on December 1st, 2025. Based on the recommendation of Bill Weinreich from TMP Architecture, we would like to award the contract for the demolition and new work to the lowest bidder, which was Michigan Recreational Construction. The total cost for this work will be $213,200. Additionally, based on the recommendation of Mr. Weinreich, we are requesting board approval to purchase playground equipment and surfacing from Landscape Structures Incorporated. This portion of the playground will use Sourcewell Consortium pricing and will total $510,984. Lastly, there is $165,815 that is built in to cover the contingency cost. The complete project total will not exceed $890,000 and will be charged to the Act 18 funding. I recommend that the Board of Education approve the purchase of the outlined above, and thanks for your consideration.
Thank you. Looking for a motion, please.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion. Mrs. Abney Mitchell.
My questions is, so this is, first question I had in finance, why did we choose this school?
To do it,
Yes.
I can answer that because
Okay.
of the number of Act 18 students that attend there.
Okay.
So it's going to be a playground that, mobility free.
Okay, so, the next question is, it's open to the public, cause there's no fencing around it? The
all
fence-
of our playgrounds will be open to the public.
Okay, and also, what about cameras?
At this point, anything we do in that space in the back of the rear of the building will have cameras, and that's actually gonna be coming to you pretty soon for new cameras. So that would definitely be an area of the building that would be covered by cameras, for sure, because of the things that can happen after hours.
And maintenance?
Correct, yep.
What about the
for it.
maintenance for the,
Yes, our maintenance crew will do it. Sometimes in some types of equipment like that, they have to be trained to how to fix it and so on, or maintain it. But our maintenance crew should have the ability to do most of the maintenance on it. Unless there's something that's broke, we'd call the company back. Because it's specialized equipment,
right?
more than just some of the equipment that we see right now in most of our elementary playgrounds. This is more specialized, and when you actually see it go up, I've seen several of these in my career, and they're really cool. I mean, they're great for those kids. It's amazing. For us to be able to do this is a great thing for our kids to actually be able to go out and participate like every other kid does at recess.
Right.
So when we do it, if you get a chance, go by there, because it's heartwarming to see those kids that never really have the opportunity to do
Like a
what the other
child in a
kids are.
wheelchair who can
Yeah.
experience being in a swing.
It's really
Right,
cool.
right.
Yeah.
And the last one, the lifeline of the equipment.
How long will
Yeah.
it last? I can't give that answer for sure, but I'm sure that when we purchase it, we're gonna have some type of warranty on it, and I'm sure there's a life of what the equipment is. I know I've seen it before, and it is specialized, And like Dr. Cost said, you could get some of our students that are in wheelchairs be able to participate no different than what the other students are doing. I'm not exactly sure how long those are, but I could get that answer for you, how long they're good for.
Okay, but like I said in finance, I asked these questions for our community, for people that's listening to the meeting. I realized what was the purpose of that school, but people that's listening to us,
I
they
think
don't
it's a
always
good question
know.
when you're gonna spend
Yeah.
$890,000. So I don't
Okay.
think it's an off-the-wall question. I don't have that answer. I just want to tell you that I didn't have the answer for you, how long that equipment's usually. It's like, not like a roof, and I can tell you 15, 20 years, because I'm not really sure, because it's so specialized.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mrs. Hines.
Yeah, a couple of things. It's kind of similar to what they have with the city of Westland at Central Park. The big new equipment
Correct.
is so amazing. And then there's another thing too. You can check into it. They have like a safety security grant where it pays for cameras and stuff like that. When I worked for the city, they had those. Some, a lot of things are changed, but that might be able to help too for the safety security. It pays for surveillance cameras and things of that nature.
I
special
believe
grant.
the district has received that it's the COPS grant, they used to call
Yeah.
it, has received it maybe twice or maybe 3 times. I know in other districts I've received it a couple times. I'm aware of that, and I'm not exactly sure do we apply for that, but we are using, well, it'll come to you guys in a couple weeks, what we're doing with cameras. It's gonna be an overhaul, and I think the principals and the staff will like some of the changes we're gonna do. Because we are outdated in some of our camera equipment, which is important. I know that it can be proactive and reactive in buildings, and we need that. We need to make sure we keep up on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toko. One of the things that I would like to ask is just the timeline for the installation of the new equipment. Do we have that?
I think we can answer that, maybe, Mr. Weinreich. And this is Mr. Weinreich, who I mentioned in the presentation, and then Gino Montaigne with him.
Good evening. So the playground demolition will start in the spring. As soon as contractors get on site, we get rid of the frost laws and we coordinate with the school to be able to cordon that area off. The intention is to get started before summertime, so we have summertime to get all of the equipment installed so that's ready for the following school year. So it'll be something that starts in the spring, weather dependent on when it starts, and it'll be ready for school, the start of the following school season.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that question. I just want to say, I think this is awesome. When you talk about, again, the sense of belonging,
Yep.
being a part of a school, like this is just huge. And I know we've had some conversations in the past around our Act 18 money and maybe feeling like we weren't getting all of our money or how our, just all the pieces around it. And so this is an excellent spin on that money. So thank you guys for that work with us.
It changes a kid's day.
Oh,
really,
absolutely.
and their life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you. Mrs. Hines, would you like to call roll, please?
Miss Abney Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose.
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Rashawn.
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Dr. Weaver.
Yes.
President May.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Next, we are at 197.26, review and approval of resolution authorizing 2026 school building and site bonds. Mrs. Claire.
Good evening, Board and Community. I'm requesting approval to proceed with issuing the first series of bonds under the voter-authorized 2026 School Building and Site Bond Program. Remember in the fall, we were, our community approved us for $125 million. I recommend the board approve this resolution so we can begin the process of authorizing the issuance and sale of the first series of bonds for the 2026 school building and site bonds, so the district can move forward with the initial phase of bond-funded improvements. So it's gonna be $20 million, this first sale. And also in the document, it lists who the players will be, as far as Miller Canfield is our bond counsel, Stifels our underwriter, PFM's our financial advisor, TMP that you just saw is our architect, McCarthy and Smith our construction manager, and Argent is our paying agent. So I hope you let us get started on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking for a motion, please.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Roshan?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Dr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
7-0, motion carries.
Thank you. We are now, I'm sorry, I thought you were saying something. Sorry, Dr. Cross. We are now at 198.26, review of Board of Education items. The first item we have listed is board officer position interest. And so this is the time where anyone that is interested in a position may now voice that.
Yes, I would like to fill a position.
What position are you interested in?
I would like to do the president. I've been on the board 12 years. I've done a lot in the community. I have thousands of contacts. I have a relationship with the congressmen, senators, and just my dedication again is 12 years. I'm up for re-election. We never know how that can go. So I would just ask as my final year of Wayne Weston Board. I'm not sure, but I would definitely like to be the president because again, I've earned it. You know, I've gotten 2 bonds passed, $150 million in 2018. We worked with the $125 million this year, and then I even worked with the Westwood School District to get their bond passed. I have great relationships with the mayors, the business community, and I'm super excited about moving forward with the positive networking with the promoting the district in a very, very positive manner. And I'm just so excited and I just really would like to finish that out and just, I really would ask for that support. At least it's been 12 years, and again, I've been putting my heart and soul in the district, and I just want to do some amazing things and work with the board. We have a great board. We get along so well. And President Kim, you're doing an amazing job. I'm so proud. But again, I've been on the board 12 years, and I will at least ask, like my final year, your president. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd like to offer myself for 4 different positions, either one.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I would like to keep the position I have as vice president.
Thank you. Anyone else? Go.
If the board so feels inclined, I will gladly continue to serve as treasurer.
Thank you. Anyone else? So I will just add that I, too, would love to continue in this capacity as president, if the board will have me. And if not, I will support whomever the president is, so I want to be clear on that. So, anyone else? All right, that concludes that section. Now we move to the superintendent search update, which is me. So I want to first say thank you to my board colleagues, the community, our students, our staff, everyone that participated in the survey, as well as the series of community meetings that took place on December 2nd. Well, that was one set. We also had a couple other meetings prior to December 2nd, one with the Parent Advisory Committee. I believe, I don't want to misspeak, but I believe there was a meeting potentially with the union leadership. We discussed that. So I just want to say thank you for all that participated. I'd like to share some highlights from the survey that took place. So we had a survey, students were able to participate in the survey. We had 23 students participate, meaning they took the survey. And then 2 of the items that stood out was around 65% of the students would like for the new superintendent to have a focus on academic success and achievement. And 56% of the students think it's important for the superintendent to seek and consider diverse perspectives. Our staff, we had 168 participants for the to participate in the survey. And the staff, 60% believe that, or would like the superintendent's characteristics to be around strong and ethical standards. 54% would like for the superintendent to focus on attracting and retaining talented students and staff. And 51% believe that it is important for the superintendent to be approachable and accessible. We had 64 participants that identified as parents, grandparents, or guardians. And In that particular group, 55% thought it was very important for the superintendent to be held accountable or have that accountability. 48% believe that it's important for the superintendent to have strong ethical standards and high integrity. 48% are looking for the superintendent to be approachable and accessible. They would also 45% would like for the superintendent to focus on safety and security, and while 43% are looking for the superintendent to focus on attracting and retaining talented students and staff. Community, we had 33 participants that identified as community members. 58% of the participants thought that it was important for the superintendent to understand the financial health of the district and maintain that. 58% also thought that it was important for the superintendent to be accountable. 42% felt that it was important for the superintendent to be approachable and accessible. 42% also thought that it was important for the superintendent candidate to have ethical and strong integrity. And 42% listed that the superintendent should have students first at the forefront of decision making. And as far as the in-person stakeholder meetings held on December 2nd, 2025, we had a total of 58 participants. And so with that, based on the information gathered through the survey, the information also gathered in the face-to-face stakeholder meetings, I would just like to read through the profile of the candidate that we're looking for. This is the actual posting that will go up in January. It reads, Wayne Westland, and this is only the candidate profile piece that I'm reading. The Wayne Westland Community Schools is seeking a dynamic, visionary, and inspirational superintendent who exemplifies the following qualities: demonstrates integrity and strong ethical standards in all actions and decisions, is approachable, visible, and accessible to students, staff, families, and the community, possesses strong financial acumen, ensuring the district's financial health, stability, and long-term sustainability, attracts, develops, and retains students and high-quality staff, holds themselves and others to high standards of performance and accountability, is deeply student-centered, consistently placing students at the forefront of decision-making, ensures a safe, secure, and supportive learning and working environment, treats all individuals with dignity and respect, leads with kindness, empathy, professionalism, and authenticity, builds trust and fosters collaboration, teamwork, and consensus among diverse stakeholders. And finally, maintains a whole child focus, supporting the academic, social, and emotional development of every student. So again, I just want to say thank you for all that participated to help create that candidate profile. I will ask my fellow board colleagues, you've had all this information in front of you. Is everyone comfortable with this candidate profile? Is there anything that you would like to see changed, updated? Anything?
I think it's wonderful. You guys did such a great job. You hit every point.
Awesome, thank you for sharing that. All right, so then our next order of business is to discuss the compensation for this superintendent. And so MLI has shared with us a list of districts that they consider to be comparable or close in size. They also took into consideration the needs of the districts, the salaries within the districts, including teacher salaries, assistant soup salaries, and surrounding areas. And also, and then when I said in surrounding areas, meaning districts that are close to us or surrounding us. And so with that, we would need to select a salary, have a salary range where we would start with one number, and then knowing that range would be about $15,000 to $20,000 above the suggested amount. And so I'm gonna throw a number out there just to get us started, and we can kind of build from there. And so the number I'm gonna throw out is 235, so 235,000. And then we can either go up, we can go down, we can say, nope, we don't like that number, but let's just open up and start having a discussion.
Just one question I'd like to ask since we're doing the numbers. It's almost like 35, 45, just like a bid in a way. But dealing with the different criteria, because we're going to have, different people applying, like the different tiers, you know what I'm saying? So like with our 235,000, you have to have these certain things in place. If you have these other things like doctorates, you know, higher, how many years, you know, different references, will that count as adding a little bit additional to the tiers?
So if we say the base is 235,000 and then we say 15,000 above that would be the range, right? So that would put us at 250. So then we, once a candidate is selected, we know we aren't going higher than 250, but we're not going below 235,000. So for example, if it's a first year superintendent, we wouldn't look at that first year superintendent necessarily as $250,000. However, we may not look at that first year superintendent as 235,000 if he or she has a doctorate degree, right? So just some of those pieces that would go into consideration, but a lot of that negotiation would take place with our attorneys and not so much as of us. Yes, Mr. Cox. And if I misspoke, correct me.
No,
You've done this before.
I don't think you misspoke at all. I think you're right on the money with it. And speaking of the money, I think what this value does is it just establishes for potential applicants that, okay, the school district is, you know, they're in line with what this should be. That's what they're looking for. And they're not just looking at their compensation, but they're also looking at the compensation of the other executive team members and the other employees in the school district. They want to know what the financial health is of the district. And what they're going to learn is that we're in excellent financial health, and people are being treated more than fairly, in my opinion. I think appropriately, more than fairly. And I think that's going to attract the necessary people. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let a $10,000 bill stand in the way of someone that I really think is a great person for the job. We just spent $80,000 buying the ability to get rid of bad emails, you know? So this is a very important decision, and we have to explain to potential applicants that we will be where we need to be. You know, this is their career, after all, and I think that amount establishes that.
Others?
It's nice not to have any rebuttal.
What's over here, like?
One more question.
Can we do this at my house?
Yes, Ms. Hines.
Would this salary of the 235,000 include the benefits as well, or is it gonna be a separate portion for the benefits?
No, benefits are separate.
Okay, thank you.
And then there are other, like, little fringes that'll go in there as well, such as like a car allowance. We can have that discussion if we wanna keep it what it's been or make it different. There's also, typically a bonus that we include. Well, we haven't been including that because it's not for highly effective. But just looking at some of the other fringe benefits that have been in other contracts, not that we would follow all of those benefits, but just some pieces to take into consideration. But then all of those things happen in that negotiation piece.
Right.
So this would just be the salary. So we'll vote, but I noticed that Dr. Weaver isn't in the room, so I do want to give him an opportunity. So I don't know. Maybe. So while we wait, no one else has anything they want to say. You guys want to take a 5-minute break? Like, I kind of don't know what to do right now, but I don't.
Just
I
keep
didn't-
going.
I have nothing else to say.
Dr. Weaver, if you want it, look like he had his papers.
Ask him what he's doing.
Well, no, I mean, because we can take a 5-minute break to give him. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, did he leave?
Well, we gotta keep going anyway.
All right, well, we do have a quorum. All right. So with that being said, is there a motion to accept the suggested?
So moved.
Or support, whatever.
Support? Somebody support, somebody support, okay. Any more discussion? All right, so we're in agreement that it's the 235 and we're looking at a range 15 or 20. I want to be sure when I communicate this back out.
Say
I'd say-
15 to be safe.
Yeah, I think 15.
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
15 is good.
Okay. And with that being said, Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Mr. Ambrose?
Yes.
Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Roshan?
Yes.
President May?
Yes.
6-1, would it be? Was it absent?
6-0.
6-0, okay, 6-0. Motion passes.
Awesome, thank you guys. Next, we are at item 199.26, student reinstatement. Mr. Toko?
Yes. Whereas the Board of Education for the Wayne Westland Community Schools convened on December 15th, 2025 to consider the petition for reinstatement filed on behalf of expelled student number 2526/A, and to consider the report and recommendation of the reinstatement committee previously appointed by the Board of Education. Whereas the Board of Education is persuaded for the reasons set forth in the reinstatement committee's report and recommendation that student 2526-A should be reinstated to the Wayne Westland Community Schools. Therefore, it is resolved that the reinstatements committee's report and recommendation is hereby adopted by the Board of Education, and for that reason stated therein. The petition for the school reinstatement filed on behalf of student 2526-A is hereby approved. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be provided to the student and the parent.
Thank you. I'm looking for a motion.
Motion, support.
You did both?
I'm sorry, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion.
Support. Discussion. Mrs. Hines, will you please call roll?
Yes.
Where's
I
Hines?
have a question.
Question.
I'm sorry.
We gotta
So
do
we go
the
back
vote.
to discussion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes,
you
okay.
move too fast. So, why particularly did this come before the board? Why wasn't it, what reason why wasn't it held, took care of at the, reinstatement,
I believe it was. That's
the
why it's here now. You guys are voting on it, so the reinstatement committee had already heard it, and now it's coming to the board for vote.
Oh, okay, cause I thought we only get them, when they come before the board is when the reinstatement committee denied it. That's not true?
No, when the reinstatement committee will approve it, it'll come to you, and then you guys vote on approving the student either returning or not returning. So the
They both come.
Yeah, they both come.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Mr. Ambrose?
Can we have a sidebar? I do have a concern with what was presented to us. Names were added to this, and now if you read the resolution, it wasn't student number, it was the actual student on that page.
So this is for us,
Yeah,
but then
and-
this is the
okay.
resolution, which is what's read. So
Okay.
that we protect the students'
Right.
identity. I'm sorry.
I am probably, I can't say too much.
Is it a situation where you need to abstain?
Yeah, I will abstain from this one.
Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion? I'm sorry, did I not do that right?
No, I'm just wondering about an abstainment, unless there's personal involvement.
No, I
That's
am.
how I took it, but maybe I was
Yeah,
wrong.
no, I personally know this family.
That's how I took, that's why I said it,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I had the question.
I just for the record, I don't think it's necessary because you know someone to abstain. If you
I-
personally are involved, or you personally are going to have a gain or a loss as a consequence, but other than that, the familiarity of board members with people involved actually helps the decision-making process. It doesn't, in my opinion, preclude you from making a decision. You know, you can be an advocate for people that you know, or not.
So we're gonna let him abstain.
I'm just, you know, it's just us. Your vote is important, and I respect it, and, you-
I'm just a little
I understand.
too close
I
at
just-
times to this situation is
Okay,
probably
you
why.
don't want, you can't abdicate your responsibility to vote, is what I'm saying. You know,
I think ethically, you're making the best decision.
yeah.
And so So with that, Mrs. Hines, I'll ask you to call roll, please.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Rochon?
Yes.
Ms. Hines, yes. Mr. Almers, we have an abstain. Ms. Abney Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. May?
Yes.
We have 5. Is it 2? No, 5.
That's fine.
01.
Okay, 0-1. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And then we are now at 200.26, citizens' comments.
I do have one. And we have a Miss Melinda Hams, non-agenda item.
Should I start now, or I probably always say this every time?
Yes, you may start.
Okay, thank you. So I want to give compliments to Kimberly and Shannon and Luana, but I also want to say, even if I don't interact with everyone on the board on a regular basis, every one of you on the board is important and special to the community, but it's hard to reach out to everyone, you know, it's a busy life. I would also like to compliment all the staff of the Wayne Westland School District for their hard work this year, including Gino, that also attended this board meeting today, trying to help us with all our maintenance. In the meantime, Ms. Babiak from the Wildwood School has designed her own volunteer pamphlet that I was very impressed with. It covered all the necessary items needed to help a volunteer succeed. Good work, Ms. Babiak. I've had experience with other volunteer books that were quite lengthy, and so when I saw hers, I'm like, this is direct to the point. It covers everything we need, so it was perfect. I wanted to thank Kate Brull for her advocacy skills in communicating with parents, and I also wanted to thank her for her kindness. And I want to thank her for thanking me for my donation of the Halloween buckets. I wasn't expecting it. I'm just a giver, and I like to support the schools in the district, and if I see things at the store, I grab them and I give. And thank you, Kim, for your continued kindness and support over the years. Going forward, I had a chance to go to the meeting for the search for the new superintendent. The leaders were professional. They were very impressive. They led the meeting well, and they made everyone attending feel comfortable and important as parents. Last but not least, I want to encourage any district staff to coach any parent district advisory committee members to recognize that all committee members and parents are equal in the district, and that we have not designated any leaders. So want to encourage parents to come to these meetings, to feel comfortable, to share their ideas together with other parents, and not having a parent be in charge of other parents. So I think there might be some misconceptions with the parent group that some are you know, maybe leaders of the group. So maybe the district, Jenny Johnson, whoever's in charge of that, can help with some coaching. So everybody have a great year, and thank you very much, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you so much. We are now at 201.26, interim superintendent's comments or report. Dr. Koss.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to thank Ms. Pringle and the students she had to help us see all the good things that are happening at Franklin. Today I had the opportunity to go to Hicks and listen to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders in their choir performance, and their level of energy was infectious. My toes were tapping the minute that started, so I was, it was just a neat, magical moment of my day. In a preview of what's to come, next month is January, and that is Board Recognition Month, so we are going to be recognizing all of you for your leadership with the district, and that is well-deserved. I just would like to say happy holidays to all of the staff, students, and the community, and it will be good to see you all next year.
Thank you. We are now at item 202.26, reviewing recommendations. Mrs. Hines.
Yes, I'd like to say we've had a great year. 2025 has been great, but 2026 is going to be amazing. Again, I'm super excited to have Dr. Koss on board, and I'm really excited about our new marketing that we're going to do to get more kids in the district. One thing with Wayne Westland, we've had so much negativity. We got to really push the positivity. We have so many gyms in this district that people just don't realize. So, really excited about the next year. We have an organization. I'm the president of the Kiwanis Club of Wayne and Westland, and we promote literacy. So the Wayne Westland Schools is a part of it, but I'm actually working to get other schools to join. The Kiwanis, they give out free books, so we were able to get out 150 free books at the Spooktacular, and the kids loved it. At my company, Starfish, I was able to go to Detroit One. They have a warehouse, and I got like additional 100 books. So I would definitely like to be able to get these books in different schools because they give them out for free. We have a Key Club over at John Glenn High School. It's a little subculture of the Kiwanis. And we actually have a fundraiser for them at Red Robin, the kids at John Glenn High School. And it's going to be at the Red Robin. It's 20% off for, back to school for the Kiwanis Club of Wayne Westland for the John Glenn High School kids. And it's going to be January 14th, 2026 at 36350 Wayne Road. And so, Warren Road. And this would be really good. We have like over 50 kids that's in the Key Club, and it's a service group. So we did bell ring last Saturday with the Salvation Army over at Ford Road. It was super cold, and we were there from 9 to 5. We had some of the kids from the high school come out. So I'm really excited about that, and I want to get that over to Wayne and kind of other schools with that. And then we usually meet, we have a partnership with the Westland Library. We have a partnership with the Wayne Westland Salvation Army, HYPE, the ARC. So we have a lot of organizations. And the nice thing about being the president of Kiwanis, I want to get some of those organizations to help with the school district as well, like the ones we don't have partnerships to really add, because HYPE is super excited about working with our kids. But we meet on the first and third Tuesdays of the month from 5:30 to 6:30 at the Westland Public Library. I went over to Inkster, talked to the librarian over there, trying to get it out in certain areas because literacy is super important. And if any of the kids want to do some community service projects, the Wayne Westland Salvation Army, they're actually doing getting the gifts together for the families in the neighborhood. So, and they have Wednesday available, December 17th from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30. They got the adoptive family, but they are looking for some volunteers to come over to work in the toy shop and to help get the toys ready for some of the kids in the neighborhoods. And they also have another event coming, and this is for some of the Inkster residents. And I think they said they're gonna have over 500 coats, so you might not have to really be a resident. But they're having a 15th annual winter gear giveaway. It's gonna be coats, hats, gloves, scarves, socks. Will be distributed on first come, first serve. It's gonna be at the Inkster Family Skating Ring. It's actually on Middle Belt north of Michigan Avenue. And the nice thing with that is gonna be Saturday, December 20th, from 2 to 5 p.m. And it's going to be like free skating for the kids, free food. So nice little free little family event that they can go out to. Let's see. And so I know we got some seniors that's looking to go to college. So it's able to get some information about a program that can help some kiddos who are looking to go to community college and don't want to spend a lot of money. So Schoolcraft College actually has the community college guarantee. And what it is they go to college for free for the 2 years. And so the nice thing is you can get your English or your basic classes out the way, and once you get those started, you can transfer those over to Michigan State, Wayne State, the bigger colleges. So that is a nice way to be able to, as a, senior coming out, not paying for college for 2 years. So you can definitely contact the admissions office, 734-462-4426. That way you can get it started. Because a lot of times we wait too late. It's like graduation time, people don't think about stuff. So now with it being January, it's time to kind of plan, what you want to do, and it's free. So I think that's a good idea. And I like to say Mr. Rashawn had a very great event. It was a fundraiser, educator sneakers ball, and the money went to scholarships for kids. And I didn't know Shannon got a book as well, a coloring book. So he's really passionate about reading as well. He's talking about he want to, get some of the books in the vending machines. So we have this common thing with reading and books and all that good stuff. But it was a really good event. I definitely like to have a part 2 because it was really good. We just get the momentum going. And so my birthday is December 23rd. And I like to say I am so excited from being on the school board. And one of the biggest things that's happened to me, I have a book that just came out called Unleashed. And it's an anthology, and I'm an author. This is my first book ever. And I put something about Wayne Westland Schools in the book, how it was, when I was in Upward Bound, that was a life-changing program. And that program actually helped me to be successful. So it's actually in this book. It's going to be on Amazon. But it's really nice to be able to go through experiences, be able to help. And, like, being on the school board has just been so important. I remember, like, the first time when I got my diploma and I saw the board members, I said, oh, that's a cool job. You know, who would think? But I think this has, like, been such a blessing to be able to help others. But it's a chapter in there, too, Rising from the Ashes. And it just kind of talks about life, how you go through things. Sometimes you have to burn, you have to lose things in life to gain perspective. And just being accepted, getting those car accidents. You know, it's been a really challenging year, and just really being alive, like, you know, be able to have a birthday. Like, I almost wasn't here. So just being able to just, you know, help other people and, you know, just be a positive influence. And then with a lot of these budget cuts, I mean, if you guys even need me to go to D.C. about keeping these programs like the Upward Bound, even like in Lansing, I talked to one of the state representatives. He said that they lost over $600 million in money that was already appropriated. So you can't be taking money and pulling it back because it hurts the school district. Because then we have to try to figure out where to find the money. So definitely, I'm an advocate if you guys need any type of, you know, to kind of fight on that behalf. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambrose.
We had a really interesting discussion during our finance committee meeting regarding publicity. It started with, I don't exactly remember how it started, but we talked about certain events that have happened in this district in terms of being publicized. One was Stuff the Bus. I know it's an annual event that happens, but it didn't even hit my social media feed until Wednesday night. And that was after someone on our board posted it. I was actually going to send a note out to Dr. Cost on Monday of that week to see if it was still going on, because if it was, I was going to go and help support. And I got busy with life and never sent the email. And just some other things when we look back at the decline in enrollment that we had. And it got us to talking about our media presence, our public relations presence. And not that the people we have are doing a bad job, but do they not have enough resources to be able to meet the times now? Is that an organization that, as a board and as a district, we've overlooked? Because let's be honest, in this day and age, with School of Choice, what are we doing as a board and as a district to get the word out as to what we have to offer? We tend to be a little bit more reactive in this board or this district in getting the word out instead of proactive. And so I'm glad Dr. Cost tonight took that on as one of her goals as superintendent, and what we can do because she recognized it too, that we're struggling, and to get the word out and to grow in this competitive environment. We're not the only game in town anymore. Our students have options to go to Plymouth, Canton, Livonia, some of the charter schools in the area, and they're being more aggressive about it than we are. And so we need to step back and take a look and find ways that we can be aggressive and get our word out also. And I want to thank the board for all the hard work that's been put in this year, the staff, and the difference that our staff makes in the lives of our children. Last month, we dedicated a swimming pool to one individual, AJ McFerrin. I had the opportunity to go to that. Partially because a friend of mine and his family were touched by Coach AJ. This gentleman is about my mom's age, and his record for diving dating back to 1974 is still up on the wall in Way Memorial's pool. His kids were touched by Coach AJ. The amount of people that came out from this in support, and I'm talking adults that were my age, some even older, and they still had fond memories about how one person touched their lives and made it better. And where do we find these people? That's what amazes me in this district, is how we're able to find teachers like that, coaches like that. I've seen it in my kids' lives, and the connections that they had made with certain teachers, and they still keep in touch with today. And so thank you for caring about our students, for wanting to help them and to be better in their lives, because let's be honest, they don't always listen to us parents. And so I'm grateful we have high quality individuals in this district who step into that space. And with that, I want you all to have a happy holiday. Take these 2 weeks off after Friday, re-energize, spend time with your family and reconnect.
Thank you. Mr. Cox.
Mr. Ambrose, I totally agree with everything you said. Thank you for saying it. This evening I saw something on the check register that I didn't see before, and I just, not right now, but if you could give me an answer to this. On the register, there's a check to Royal Oak for $2,700, community schools, a check to Plymouth Canton for $7,000, a check to South Lyon for $3,700 for homeless student transportation. I don't remember seeing that entry before, and I'd like to know what that means. There was some talk tonight about Plant Moran, and there was a message that it's been difficult dealing with Plant Moran, and I just want to say that on the outset, I'd like it explained to me what the problem is with Plant Moran. They're one of the most respected accounting firms in the country, certainly in Michigan. And I'm not saying they never make mistakes, but you know, before I wanted to change that, I'd want to know why that needed to be changed. So, Principal Dina Pringle from Franklin brought a very nice presentation. Everybody commented on it, and one of the things that she talked about was the after-school programs. And for years and years, you know, in hallway conversations, these after-school activities are so important to the students' development. And in middle school, in junior high school, is where that culture is developed. So if we are ever asked to support such things on the middle school or the junior high school level, knowing that it helps create the culture of kids being involved with their school building after school's out, because there's still so much to do, that would be a great culture to focus on and to give some strength to in our district. So I was very pleased to see that, and would love to see more of it. Let's see what else I want to say here. I had an opportunity last Thursday night to be part of a focus group with a young lady by the name of Kushi Patel. And some of you might recognize Kushi. She's a 2021 graduate of Wayne Memorial High School, and her and her classmate Morgan. By the way, Kushi's just graduated from Brown University. With one of her classmates, she's developing something that they're calling the Wayne Literary Project. In fact, if you want an email address, wayneliteraryproject@gmail.com is how to communicate with them. What they are interested in doing is taking the information that already exists about the city of Wayne, which has an incredibly rich history. Many people talk about the city of Wayne and its history around 1940, the beginning of World War II. It was going 100 years before 1940, and did a lot of things. And I was with Richard Helpe and Bill Gray. We were all part of that group, and it seems very exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and I believe a great portion of their project is going to be dedicated to how the school district has contributed to the area and what the students of the school district have done. So many in the city of Wayne, and not so much with Westland, because you know Westland's a new community. It began in 1966 really, but so many with the city of Wayne. There's generational, foundational people in that community, and it's a very special community, and no doubt it's going to be a great effort with these two young women involved in it. So I want to say good luck to them and also bring it up. And the last thing that I have to report tonight is that the city of Wayne, the city of Westland, the entire region lost a great leader with the passing of former Mayor Tom Taylor. Tom was originally a Wayne police officer back in the early 1960s, late 1950s. When the city of Westland became a city, he became a police officer in Westland. As a matter of fact, his partner was Andy Spizak, the father of recently retired Tony Spizak here in the school district. Tom eventually became a county commissioner, was instrumental in the creation of the building across the street, Thomas Taylor Towers, which he ended up being the director of in his retirement. He also is an author. He wrote a book. An incredibly intelligent, gifted person who did a lot of work nobody knows about to help make this area better. He left a lasting legacy, was a great guy. I went down to Florida on a golfing trip with about 10 guys once and somehow ended up going to bookstores with Tom Taylor and had a great time. We'll miss you, Tom, and thank you for all you've done. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Cox, and I apologize for your loss. Mr. Roshan.
I would like to begin to thank Zoe and Eva Fuqua for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank them for their outstanding leadership and academic excellence. I don't know if we caught that they were all A students, not all A and B students, but all A students. I think that's noteworthy, but not just academic-wise. They're excellent, but also in athletics. They were part of volleyball and basketball. So I want to highlight them and thank them for being here tonight. Also, want to thank Principal Pringle as well for her presentation, her outstanding leadership at Franklin Middle School, and for the work that she does. It really reflects strong leadership in that school and dedication of the staff and the students for the student success. Also want to extend a sincere thank you for everyone in the community that came out to attend the Lace with Legacy educational sneaker ball. We had a great time. We raised money for scholarships for students that are going into education. We look forward to doing it again next year. So we'll get the word out and look forward to everyone attending. And as we close out this year, I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday, all the students and staff, and be safe and get some rest and spend some time with family and friends. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Roshan. Mrs. Abney Mitchell.
Yes, just like everybody else, I just want to close out the year knowing that this is the year, not the semester, because the semester is not over, with great gratitude for our students, our educators, our community partners, our board working together this year. It just takes all of us to make it easy. It has been so pleasant when you have people that you can work with, or in my case, it happened today, people that arguing over that you should sit next to them. They pulling out chairs because everybody want me to sit next to them. I appreciate that. Thank you. But you know, just to have a board that's working with you, having people donating, and I'm just thankful for the community that donated to us, to the Wayne Westland School District. I'm grateful and I'm thankful to the teachers for everything that they do, for our students showing up to be part of learning, having an education, our bus drivers, the first people that our students see in the morning. I'm grateful for them. Our janitors, everybody that show up every day. This is my prayer every morning. Thank you, Lord, for everybody that show up every day for our kids. The safety guards. And I just want to appreciate them. And I want to wish everybody a happy holiday and a safe holiday. But I also want to acknowledge our students. We have already started in our schools, in middle schools, going to 5th grade camp. We all look forward to going to 5th grade camp. David Hicks went a couple of weeks ago, and all the middle schools will be going to 5th grade camp. The only thing that I regret for them is that they going in the wintertime. I like it when they go in the summertime because they get to go swimming. So now they just come back all wet. They ain't been swimming. So my grandson went a couple of weeks ago for 5th grade camp, and he had a great time. But I want to acknowledge our students that's going on their field trips. We have 4 students that is attending Women's in Sports Leadership Conference. These are 4 students from John Glenn. You know, you in sports, but to be able to go to the leadership conference, that's almost like our level when we go to a board conference. I am so happy and excited for these kids. We have 28 students from John Glenn going to a student council leadership conference. We have 16 kids from Wayne Memorial going to student council state conference, leadership conference also. So when I read over these field trips and everything, and I said, conferences, it made me feel like I feel when we sign up to go to a conference, you know, to be around other people from different communities that's on the same level as you, learning. And you know, we just like we spoke about Kalamazoo schools, we learned that at a conference. And just to be able to have these opportunities for our kids, this is promoting our district right here. Send your kids to Wayne Westland School District. We'll send them to a state conference. But just to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year if you celebrate. Take time, spend some time with your family, but most important, do something for yourself. Do something for yourself. If I can take 9 or 10 days and do something for myself, I'd be a very selfish person. I'd be a very lonely person, let me put it that way. But, you know, just take some time and do something for yourself and love on your family at the same time. And happy holidays.
Thank you. I just have a couple of things I'd just like to mention. One, thanking Zoe and Eva for their leadership this evening with the pledge and just being phenomenal students based on the information that was shared. As already stated, Mrs. Pringle and the work of her team over at Franklin. I also just like to take a few minutes just to say thank you to Mrs. Harris, because every time she comes to a board meeting, she's complimentary of everyone. Despite what some barriers that she may have encountered, she still comes very positive. her emails are very positive, and so I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you for your dedication. I know you have worked really hard to be a volunteer in the schools. I know how dedicated you are to our students, and so thank you for that. I'd also just like to share that there are 2 music concerts coming up this week. So Glenn is having theirs tomorrow night, and then Wayne's is Thursday. Just an update also to the board in regards to board book. So we voted to have that. We approved it in October, and we approved it with the implementation beginning in January of 2026. I don't know if you need to, I don't want to keep talking if you were over there, like dying or something.
Don't die.
No, I don't want her to die. I'm just saying, like, you know, she needed something. So, starting with the January agenda, board members will receive both a printed agenda and an electronic board book version as part of the pilot phase. Beginning in February, board members will receive agenda packets exclusively in an electronic format. So that would be the board book. Also, I know we've talked at the board table. I believe it's been a conversation in policy around live streaming, and just want to provide an update on that. And that's just based on what I read in the policy committee. And I'm going to kind of lean to Dr. Cost to help me to make sure I'm stating this correctly. But it doesn't sound like we're going to move forward with live streaming, just based on some ADA compliance concerns, as well as I'm going to say legally, but maybe not, well, just not being able to really engage in a two-way communication if we go with live streaming is that's been the advice that we've been given. So I just wanted to provide an update on that. And then, yeah, I think the last thing that I have is just wishing everyone happy holidays and asking our staff to, everyone, just take a moment, enjoy your family. Take care of yourselves, sincerely take care of yourselves, and just really, really have this time to reflect on how your year is going thus far. And with that, I will accept a